For a long time now, I've always had a go-to build for most of the games that I play, that of a Recon Tech sniper. Indeed, I find landing successful shots in video games to be an immensely rewarding experience. The skill and precision required offers a nicely balanced level of challenge, whilst the glass cannon nature of the accompanying build allows you to one-shot most everyone, whilst hopefully not becoming one-shotted yourself. Suffice to say, when playing Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time, I initially targeted a variant of this build, but was eventually drawn in by the other shiny gadgets and gizmos this game has to offer. Well, today I aim to finally fulfill that initial goal by testing out all 6 sniper rifles in the game, weighing up their pros and cons and ranking them accordingly. For context, the build I'm using in this video consists of 20 reflexes, with most of the assault perks, 18 tech in order to craft legendary snipers, 15 intelligence to boost the backup cyber deck I'm using here, with ping being particularly helpful with shooting through walls, then finally 10 body to equip the more heavy-duty snipers on the list. Whilst not being a massively optimized build, it will do the trick to show off these snipers in their best light. Also, do bear in mind that this video is going to cover exclusively sniper rifles, so whilst the Widowmaker is indeed an awesome precision rifle, it will not be featuring here, and I have a follow-up video planned to rank those coming very soon. Finally, do remember that this list is merely my opinion, and if you do fully disagree with me, that's fair enough, and hopefully this video offers a decent summing up and introduction to all the sniper rifles regardless. Let's get into it. Down right the way at the bottom, meet the 05 sniper rifle. This can be acquired from Buck Arnold during the Beat on the Brat boxing questline. Now, don't get me wrong, this gun certainly ticks the box of immensely powerful long-range weapon. In fact, with the explosion damage and radius, its power is even greater. I found it was best utilized by waiting for enemies to gather into a group before firing one well-placed shot right into the center. More often than not, the explosion will wipe most of them out. Now, I've been critical before on this channel of the inherently underpowered nature of the projectile launcher arm mod, and weirdly enough, the 05 actually does almost exactly what they do, but better. With a far higher damage output, not to mention the long-range scope, the 05 sniper rifle is exactly what the projectile launcher should have been. Though that's kind of the reason it's also sitting at the bottom of my list in particular. In my eyes, this isn't a sniper. It's a long-range grenade launcher. A very powerful weapon to be sure, but not equipped to fulfill all of your sniping needs. Where others will penetrate multiple solid walls with wonderful precision, the 05's projectile will explode in a blaze of glory the second it makes contact. This is limiting since it can only be used against enemies out in the open. And in my experience here, attempting to take out the big Wraith camp, the second enemies are out in the open, they'll be on you in no time. You can simply hip fire into the ground at this point, but again, that's something you do with a grenade launcher, not a sniper. What's more, this is one of the few which did not have an interchangeable scope for me, though please let me know if this is a game feature or simply a glitch my end, as I'm unsure. Another thing which isn't clear to me is the body requirements to use it. Certain sources online cite needing an insane 20 body to use this, though I found it worked fine with just 10. Something to bear in mind though. Finally, whilst most snipers here have 4 bullets per mag, this one only has 3. A minor inconvenience, but trust me, when things heat up, one you'll definitely notice. At number 5, we have the Ashura, a sniper for those of you who simply can't be bothered to aim. This is because the Ashura is a smart weapon and will target enemies automatically so long as you have the SmartLink cyberware installed. This comes in place of the ballistic coprocessor, however, which is vital for ricocheting bullets, a bonus that comes with, I think, all the others. Evidently, the Ashura doesn't play great with the other snipers and is better off rolled into something like the lazy build that I did a few weeks ago. Much like the 05, the Ashura copes very well in close combat, with the smart aim mechanic removing the need to awkwardly quickscope or no-scope everyone like it's 2012.
Smoke weed every day.
Despite the vastly greater ease involved in the targeting process, this gun still outputs some very decent damage, with most enemies being taken out in 1 or 2 shots. Perfectly amicable for those desiring the power of a sniper without the demanding precision. Just stand far away, or close by, point it in the enemy's general direction, and shoot. The crafting spec can even be acquired for free via the suspected crime activity Desperate Sons of Bitches in Rancho Coronado. So far, this thing sounds almost too good to be true, and much like all those congratulations you've won emails, it is. Firstly, whilst there are a few little red boxes targeting various limbs, headshots are extremely unlikely with this gun. To any players with reasonable precision and aim, this will be a major drawback, as headshots are the ultimate way to ensure a one-shot kill every time with the sniper. Furthermore, there is only 1 round per mag, resulting in constant reloading, especially in larger fights like this one. A good way to mitigate this is with the shoot, reload, repeat perk, which can reduce reload time by up to 40% after killing an enemy. After this at least, the reload will feel more like a slow bolt action than a full-on reload. Overall, the Ashura isn't a bad sniper by any means. Hell, it's one of the more uniquely original on this list. For me, however, much like the 05, the Ashura failed to capture the complete feel of a sniper rifle, this time feeling more like a precision rifle. Still, if you want the great power without the responsibility of having to aim well, this is your best bet. Brilliant but lazy. Into our top 4 now, and all of these are excellent snipers in their own right, with each capturing what it means to be a sniper rifle in varying unique ways. For our 4th spot sits the Nekomata Tech Sniper, taglined precision without compromise. All variants up to legendary can be crafted, which is a neat bonus, and the scope is also fully interchangeable, meaning it can be used at varying ranges. If you're an early player, you'll most likely have come across this already, with lower tier versions being somewhat common, and making it ideal for an early game sniper build. Can it fly through walls this time? Oh yes. In fact, this is where I finally get to start showing off how well snipers can pair with ping. As far as I'm concerned, the purpose of a sniper is to take out enemies from afar, and with precision. Utilizing object penetration with ping takes this concept and amps it up to 11, with the issue of obstacles now being entirely mitigated. Both a pro and con to this tech sniper is that in order to utilize it to its full potential, you'll want to charge your shots. This takes just under 2 seconds with my build, and now for me, this provides useful time to steady up my aim and can potentially aid my accuracy overall. On the flip side, charging takes time, and when in more intense situations like here, when I got swarmed, time is not on our side. Furthermore, charging the weapon results in a very noticeable increase in weapon sway, which can decrease accuracy. Though I find with a long-range scope, it's not the end of the world, and the weapon doesn't often sway enough to miss the enemy entirely. What's more, the crafting spec will be automatically unlocked after leveling to crafting 18, a bonus with the potential to save you a lot of money. Ultimately, the Nekomata would probably rate higher up on this list, if not for a better quality variant later on. The SPT32 Grad is the game's answer to the classic sniper rifle. As you might have realised by now, this fight in the Wraith camp continues to go a certain way every time. I shoot some enemies, the enemies swarm out of the camp before ultimately running up the hill and swarming me. What I enjoyed about this gun is dealing with that situation required me to dig out some long buried quickscoping and no-scoping skills that have been rusting at the back of my brain for at least the last 8 years. And suffice it to say, I'm a little bit out of practice. Regardless, doing this was very fun, and took me right back to the time that I used to play online multiplayer games with friends. Black Ops 2 days. Further to this, the SPT32 Grad also penetrates walls extremely well, though unlike the Nekomata, fires instantly, and with great power comes great responsibility. Shut up, Sam. It also has, just like many others, an interchangeable scope, though it was when testing this one out that I noticed a small problem with scopes in general. No doubt, the average person who chooses sniping will likely be throwing optical camo into their build. Great idea, enemies can't see you, you don't get fired back on as much, win-win. Well, not so fast, as the holoskin nature of this camo technology also renders you, your weapon, and most importantly, your scope, invisible to yourself as well. For obvious reasons, this is a problem, and a bit of a stain on anyone wanting to play a stealth sniper. Also, with all the bells and whistles of a classic bolt-action sniper, the SPT32 of course involves a somewhat slow bolt-action animation between every shot. Sure, it doesn't need to charge up like a tech sniper, but this is quite the hefty trade-off in my opinion. Finally, just like a couple of the standard revolver variants from the last video, the legendary version cannot be crafted, and must be bought from the weapon vendor in Arroyo for a whopping 63,000 eddies. That's more than the Corpo Plaza apartment, and with so many other great contenders on this list, I can think of only one reason anyone would want to do that.
To become the best quickscoper, mate.
Up next is a gun which my V personally cherishes with all his heart. I've mentioned stealth snipers a lot in this video, yet there's only actually one sniper in the whole game capable of living up to that title. Meet Overwatch. No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the modded SPT32 with a custom silencer. I was incredibly surprised to learn that only one sniper rifle could actually be silenced, though now I'm kinda grateful we've got even one. If you're wanting to play a genuine sniping stealth build in this game, using quick hacks to separate enemies and then picking them off one by one completely undetected, then this sniper is your only option. Just make sure you've spec'd in at least 10 body attributes, else you won't be able to use it properly. Being a variant of the Grad sniper, it shares a lot of the same pros and cons. It's great for quickscoping and has an annoying bolt action. However, the silence it seems comes at a price. Try as I might, I just couldn't use this gun to shoot through walls unlike the regular SPT32, or indeed the Nekomata. Whilst this is a huge drawback to using this gun, the more I think about it, the more fair it seems. At the end of the day, being able to shoot everyone through walls without making a sound might just be one step too far into the realms of overpowered godhood. Instead, I'd recommend installing the ballistic coprocessor, grabbing up the engineering perk Draw the Line, and making the most out of ricochet. Whilst you may not be able to shoot right through walls, perhaps you could channel your inner bullseye by shooting around them, or just challenging yourself to getting as many headshots as you can with well-placed floor ricochets. It's good fun, that, I can tell you. But hands down, the best thing about this gun, and the reason my V cherishes it to such a high degree that he sometimes goes to bed with it, is that it was gifted to him after Riders in the Storm, by none other than Pan Am. Finally, at number 1 is the iconic tech sniper Breakthrough. A superior variant of the Nekomata, Breakthrough does exactly what it says. It breaks through things really freaking well. Now, according to the stats, not only does Breakthrough break through walls, but also ricochets multiple times. Each one of these shots is an almost unstoppable charged pulse, and fired right can do ridiculous damage to multiple enemies. Ironically, I realised firing the 05 into the middle of a group arguably does much the same damage far more easily, and that right there is why this ranking list can be reinterpreted in any way you choose, ladies and gents. What the 05 can't do, however, what none of the other snipers can do quite as well as this one, is flag up the enemies with ping, stand right back, and just shoot the red outlines. It's as simple as that. Might be hard to stay stealthy, and Overwatch again wins out in that regard, but when it comes to being a glass cannon, you can't really beat this. Not in my opinion anyway. I mean, it's basically a sniping railgun, which also makes a cool noise. Listen. Another tip I have with this gun is to pair it with the Kerenzikov. Sandevistan is too costly a trade-off here since we'd lose ping, but Kerenzikov is still pretty good, giving us that crucial bonus time to steady up our aim on important shots. An interchangeable scope again allows Breakthrough to operate at multiple ranges too, whilst the lack of bolt action makes the whole thing feel a little less cumbersome. What's more, the crafting spec can be acquired completely free through the scanner hustle titled New Boss, New Rules in Rancho Coronado. Only real drawback I can say about this gun are that charging, just like the Nekomata, takes time, though this can also be a good thing, as I've previously mentioned. Its lack of silencer does also lock it out of a stealth sniper build. However, beyond that, it's the most powerful, straight-shooting sniper rifle in the game, and when all's said and done, it deserves number 1 at the top of this list. Though that's just my opinion, and I'm very curious to hear yours in the comments down below. What's your favourite sniper rifle in Cyberpunk 2077 and why? Are you a sneaky nomad stealth boy, or a tanky guns blazing explosions weapon? Let me know. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and share with your Cyberpunk playing friends. And if you haven't already, then do consider subscribing to stay up to date on all Cyberpunk content I make going forward. Thanks for watching. I'm Sam Bram, and I'll see you very soon in another video.